And that's what it's all about. It's all about building a community of people together, working together as a team, even if they're not going to necessarily be here all the time. Good day, my name is David Fusco, and in this show, I'm going to talk about business, finance, and how to survive and thrive in this crazy environment that we're living in today. Welcome to my show. Welcome today to my next episode of Business and Survival. Today's podcast, we're going to be talking about transitioning from your business from one location to another, as well as how do you bond your team together and create a synergy between where you are and where you're going to. And in today's podcast, I brought my brother in as a special guest, my brother Frank. He's a CPA like myself. He's a computer wizard, like that pinball wizard guy. And he's also a Florida general contractor. He was a unit platoon commander in an armored cavalry unit in the olden days. I've known him all my life. So he's a good guy, and he helps me out constantly with my computer work, excellent advice with construction. What's funny is you get engineers and architects, and you ask them to lay out plans for you, and they come back with something, and you go, no. My brother looks at it, he goes, no, why don't you do this? Blah 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 blah. And next thing you know, they're like, oh yeah, you could do that too, and it's like 10 times better than what they were talking about. The same thing that's happened here. This old building's 130 years old or something like that. And, had the architects come in and they do their thing, they see their thing. But I guess because he's got hands-on training and he understands, he knows how to read, and he knows how to figure out stuff a little bit better maybe than even these engineers and architects, because a lot of them never have touched these tools and equipment, and they just go by what's on a piece of paper, and there's a big difference. So we spent the last couple of days here with my office crew from Staten Island. We bonded together. We got one room painted up, did a cleaning throughout the whole building. And then today, just to get in a little more fun camaraderie, we went out to the land, 163-acre piece of property that we got. And there's a beautiful lake on there. We drove around, we stopped, picked an area, and I introduced them to firearms and firearm safety, different types, revolvers, semi-automatic handguns, and long rifles and shotguns. Trained them up, showed them how these things work. I don't even know if any of them really had any experience, or if they did, it's very minimal. They basically knew that the hole was the part that you want to point towards the target. That's about, I think, the extent of the skill. So I brought my brother out to get my computers going here because, in today's world, that's what it's all about. So I figured, I'm going to let my brother talk a little bit about what he saw from the interactions of the office crew and what he thought about that. He's had offices of his own, and he's actually smart now. He has no employees. He's got all the skills that are needed to do everything more so than even I'm doing. So I guess if you want to talk about what you saw today and how the crew, and yesterday, how the crew works together, or what you see going on, what do you think about what's happening?
Well, my name is Frank, and basically David and I have been working together in a back and forth basis, both on accounting and computers and construction since we've both known each other since we were very young. Not like a lot of these young children now, they don't really get into hands-on, more into the video games. And basically I came out here to this new location that he's going to set up a remote office. And as David said, the building is 120 years old. And I met with the engineer and the contractor that's going to do the work out here. And based on hands-on experience, we came up with some possibilities that could save the cost of the construction that needs to be done by possibly in the thousands, especially since there's been a 300% increase in lumber and as well as steel. So now we have to be a little more careful of throwing around money. David's team of employees were here, and basically they worked together. The room was sitting in. They all worked very nicely together as a group to do the painting and also the cleaning in the house, or I should say the office, because it's a combination house office. And they basically did, I think, very well in one day that they did. And today, on Friday, we went out to David's new property that he bought. And basically, like David said, they each took a turn at using the different weapons. And I have to be surprised, because as an officer in the Army, I used to run safety. I was a safety officer in some of the gun ranges. I have to say that they did very well. And not only that, everyone hit the target at least once, which I was surprised at, because we were not that close to the target for a first-time user. So, I think he has a really good group. They work together, they joke together, they drink together, they eat together, and of course, the most important is they produce what needs to be done together, to make a business run properly and financially profitable, which nowadays is getting a little more and more difficult, especially in the last year and a half with the pandemic. Really shut down a lot of businesses, and the clients that an accountant would normally have that would be very busy, those people were basically hurting, which of course reflects in the back end when you have to do taxes and work with the client, and they don't have the income to be able to support themselves. So hopefully that's over and behind us now, and the country, especially New York, which was especially hit hard, can move forward, and there'll be a little bit of prosperity in the upcoming year. So that's one of the reasons why I'm up here too, to help David get everything going hopefully for the positive future.
Yeah. So what I like about this town is it's, even though it's remote, it's not remote. So the town itself, where the office is going to be, I think the town itself has like 3,500 or 4,000 people. The county, I think, has 25 or 30,000 people in it, so it's not very large. But the street that I'm on, that for the offices, it's very busy, and it's slow-moving traffic, which is good. So for signage outside, what's also nice about the location is, you've got on a half a block away, you've got all the restaurants and food and gas. So you're in a little town. So it's not like it's no man's land. There's also a Home Depot that's maybe 10 minutes away from here. There's food stores, so you can get stuff. One of the criteria I look for is what's accessible, what can you get to, what materials, what equipment. So everything's here. The land is about 18 minutes drive or so away from this location. Obviously, it's a little more remote, a lot more remote. It's all just farms around it. And but that's the whole point of that, is to have a place where you can go and you can enjoy yourself in nature, with a lake, with streams, with forests, with fields that are open. Down the road, develop things, whatever it might turn into. Obviously, you got to go with the flow. You may not be able to get what you want, but you can get what you need, like that song says. What'd you think about the land itself, the property?
The land, it's amazing. It reminds you of the actually probably more like the 1600s to 1800s. There's walls that were built by the farmers, which kind of like remind me of the Civil War, when you see the battles and they have the slate walls that are built between the farms. It looks the same, as if time never changed since the 200 years ago. And I was like, it's just so nice. The mountains, matter of fact, yesterday the mountains had smoke coming at them, just like the Smoky Mountains in Tennessee, which is very, very calming, as you can imagine. So.
The birds, one of the girls or someone said, look at these hawks. And it was like hawks flying around.
Red fox?
Yeah, a couple of red foxes were running around. The other day when I was there, right near the lake was like like a good sized snapping turtle. It's nature. There's also other things out there. That's why you need to get your marksman skills up. You've got bear out there. You got wildcats out there, wolves, coyotes, and so on. So you leave them alone, they leave you alone. But you never know. Suddenly one decides to come looking for you. You best know what to do to protect yourself. And that's what it's all about. It's all about building a community of people together, working together as a team, even if they're not going to necessarily be here all the time. Make it so that they're comfortable. If they want to, the workforce, this is built up as an accounting firm, we build up clients out here, which it looks like it'd be fairly easy right now. There's demand. From what I'm hearing from the scuttlebutt in the local area is that the accountants are not taking on new work. They're not taking new clients. So that's something that can be, a nice benefit. Add to that, it'll give me a central location point to where I can bounce back and forth as I start developing the property. I mean, is everything to do there, everything from road work to electrical. What do you do with the waste? Where do you get your water? Where do you locate the things? You got to be conscious of the wetland sections. Obviously, if you have a lake and rivers, streams, you have wetland. So what you got to, and you don't want to damage it. That's the whole point. Someone says, oh, you got to be careful. I said, look, to the I think it was an engineer was talking to, says, I'm coming here to have something nice, not to damage something nice. So, you want to make sure that people also, you're the stranger. I'm the stranger coming here. You want to let them know that you're not here to, actually, one of the guys said, wow, you're spending a lot of money. And he goes, you're bringing a lot of energy and resources to the town. I went, yes. And so, as people start seeing that, if they're business people especially, they'll appreciate that and they'll work along with you. I don't know if did you talk to any of the people in the town or?
No.
No, not really. No.
Oh, they're all laid, but they are laid back. There's no rushing here at all that I can see.
Well, that's another advantage that down the road I'll have. Bring the New York work energies and ethics. A lot of towns they don't necessarily have. But what's also nice too is apparently a lot of New Yorkers that want to, like that movie, Escape from New York, this is one of the areas they come to. And so as I'm talking to people, oh, I'm from Long Island, oh, I'm from New Jersey, oh, I'm from Staten Island, oh, I'm from Brooklyn. I mean, it's not only, it's actually, but I'd say there's at least, good 20 or so % of the people who come from that section of the country, which is where I'm from. And so it makes it a little easier to break the ice in the town here. So we had a long day, and everyone's tired. We were gonna, we had a late start today because they all had an enjoyable night barbecuing and chatting and having beverages of different sort. And so now we started a little late, but that's okay. We did very little minor cleanup over the rest of today, and then spent the day just outside in the woods and in the fields, bonding and letting everybody get together and see what I've been talking about for the last year. Now they're actually getting out here, seeing it. They're actually getting out here, contributing to it, and then they are a part of what's going on. And by doing that, they'll continue to feel that, and they'll assist and help more. I don't know, Frank, do you think anything else I need to do to get them tied in more?
Well, no, it's just the beginning of a long, upgrade over the next, 6 months, I guess, until next tax season starts. And that's basically what you want to gear yourself to, is get ready for the next tax season. That's with the computers, and as well as allowing a lot of people who do work from home now to be able to communicate with you and actually do more and more paperwork so that the client doesn't have to really travel as much. And also at this point too, you never know that may have to restrict your traveling. It makes it easier for the accountant to be able to take care of their clients remotely if they have to.
Yeah. That's exactly right. So what's nice about what's going on is, people. It used to be, I have to see you in person. Now I'd say more than half the people are okay with doing either a Zoom call or a telephone call or something like that. So where you're located is less and less mattering. I see, and I've noticed more and more people want out of the populated areas. It's populated area is not the best place to be, especially if things start getting spicy. And it doesn't have to be no zombie apocalypse. It could just be the food trucks can't make it in. Distribution, but that's exactly what's been going on right over the last couple of months is distribution chain. That's why lumber got tripled the price in just 1 month's time because of the distribution chain. It's not like there's no trees, it's just the distribution chain was shut down. And so, if things get bad, the less dense the population, the more safe it's going to be, and the more chances are you will be surviving and thriving versus in a heavy densely populated area where, as people start running out of things, and if it gets a little more spicy, so to speak, then you don't want to be the target of somebody else wanting to get a hold of what you have. In a place like this, hopefully you get tied into the community, you get accepted by the community, and now you're no longer the stranger here, and because it's less densely populated, you have a better chance of making it through any of these crazier times. So that's about it for today. And any last thoughts you want to throw in?
Nope. I hope that my brother's business just keeps going, and we can stay alive for a lot more years, so we can enjoy the future together here with the rest of our family.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you. So thank you very much. Make sure you can also see this on my YouTube channel, David Fusco, and watch it there. There's other videos to also get into. If you go there, I really appreciate it. Like the video, subscribe to the channels, and that's it. Have a great day, guys. Thank you.